Sports. We at it again. I'm coming back. I'm talking about one team for you, one team for your mind. Everybody hyped up about the LA Clippers, the moves in the summer. They added the champion from the Toronto Raptors and Mr. Kawhi Leonard. And then they went out and surprised the world. The Bang Bang Boom added Paul George. So when I talk about X's, I like 3 of those things. And they got 2 of those things right now. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are the focal points of this offense. They should pay dividends. But let's take a look back at what they did last year, right? From a team perspective, okay? Looking at the 18-19 season, the LA Clippers really hit above their weight. When you look at steals, right, overall in the league, LA Clippers were only 23rd, all right? They didn't do much damage there. When you look at blocks per game, right, let's take a look there. They were 22nd, so a little bit help needed on those aspects. 3-point percentage. LA Clippers, surprised. With all that defense they had some good shooters. Highly efficient, shooting out 38%. Field goal percentage, okay? LA Clippers, where you at? Number 7. For all the defensive talk, guys, they were actually pretty much better offensively than they were defensively last year. LA Clippers, rebounds per game, need help, 13. No size, I mentioned that. No size, we'll get into that in a second. There's no size on this team. I want to take a look at some advanced features versus teams. No. I'm going to step back. So I don't want to kill the video, but I wanted to get into some defensive statistics that showcased how they were against teams, and it's not really showing me easily here where I can look at that. So let's go ahead and step back and look at the team real quick and look at the other factors. So we mentioned George, we mentioned Kawhi, right? So those are the additions to a team that's already strong from three-point land, but how did you add on and make yourself better elsewhere? They return a few starters in Lewis Williams. Lewis Williams is and will be the forever sixth man. The king of things when it comes from the six-man perspective, a starter that comes in off the bench. That's what he is. In the season, they were able to trade for a big, mobile big, who I think, guys, you talked about the number 3X guy. I think that Ivica Zubac could be their number 3. The extended play that he had with the Lakers, he looked pretty good. And I think this is an opportunity for him, with all eyes on Kawhi and Paul, to now showcase his skill set. Another Euro big doing his thing. He joins the group with the Blazers Nurkic. He joins Denver's center there. The all-purpose big dog out of the Denver Nuggets, and his name eludes me. You got me. That said, the big point of this is, right, as you look at this team, is they got a little bit of scoring. They add big defensive help because from a stat perspective with steals and rebounds, didn't look too good, as well as blocks. Now, where is this true shot blocker? Where they added some help, and he's going to have to play dividends, a big, long player, but is not really truly a center. Mfiondu Kabengele is going to have to play out of Florida State. They also added Terrence Mann. These two out of Florida State come from a system that Doc Rivers is familiar with. I'm sure of it because he got both of them. I really think that these two are going to have to be defensive anchors for this team. The all-purpose, all-exciting guy that's going to be a little bit of a factor, that's going to play a big role in their success, obviously, is Montrezl Harrell, another big that's hitting way above his weight, but at 6'8", 240, and the 7-footers they have on the other sides. The Lakers are boasting some 7-footers, and the Houston Rockets got some 7-footers, and the Dallas Mavericks got a whole slew of 7-footers along with the Denver Nuggets. He's going to need help. It's going to have to come from Kabengele, or Zubac's going to have to step up his rebounding. That's the only area where I see a loss for this team. They're going to have to be speedier than all these other teams and have to have toughness, and that is Montrezl Harrell. He is the anchor as far as toughness and excitement for this team. Defensively, I can't stop there, right? They still have one of the better-known name defensive guards in Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley, again, comes in this season with the same tenacity he has every season. Is he an a-hole? Yes, he's supposed to be an a-hole. That's the matter of the game. That's his game. Get in your head and then break it down. He's a pest. That's his job. So we like Patrick Beverley coming back to this team. Exciting to see what he can bring to the table. Who else was added? How about Maurice Harkless from the Portland Trail Blazers to add some defensive depth? Think of him, to me, I don't want to say Lamar Odom. I'm trying to figure out a player he reminds me of. Markieff Morris type of a player for this team. Another tough, gritty player. He's going to have to add on to Montrezl Harrell's intensity. He's also added some range to his three-point shot. I like this pickup. Another big defensive, rowdy player to add to this team. JaMychal Green, hey, why not? Hey, solid season, solid player, consistent, 6'9". They got 3 of these guys, right? Can 3 of these guys match up with the 7'3" guys? I think they can give them enough hell to cause them trouble and get them angry. So JaMychal Green is added on. How many minutes can he play? These are critical areas because I think size is going to be a factor for this team, and that's going to be the problem. Pat Patterson adds some veteran depth, still can shoot the 3 at 6'9", 230, still in the NBA. Great skill set. Really like that pickup, getting some veteran leadership. Now, when we get into the bench, we talked about Lou Williams. We got to talk about Landry Shamet. His role is going to be even more critical this year. He comes off the J.J. Redick tutoring. He looks like a twin, but with a little bit more athleticism. Actually, a lot more athleticism. I'm excited what we see from Landry. He could possibly catapult into a different type of role, maybe the third X factor. I like him that much over Zubac. He's that much of a talent. Like what I see from him. If he can stay consistent, takes him further. Now, who else do they have? They added on a couple more small pieces, rookies. I talked about Coulibaly. Who else is going to play? I don't know if Dante Graham makes his team, but he's another solid big in the mold of Green, Harkless, and Harrell, but more small forwardy. They added Amir Coffey. He's 6'8", long. You kind of get the drift where Doc is going, flexibility with length. Jonathan Motley's been a solid center. Just hasn't broken through to a team, be able to get consistent minutes. Was over from the Dallas Mavericks. I think he can be the shot blocker that they need. Has some strength, solid, won't hurt you, get you some fouls, like what I see there. Walton Jr., will he make the team? It's going to be tough for him, but he's on the roster now. Let's see what Walton Jr. can do out of Michigan. Could be a solid backup point guard, maybe the third point guard slot after Beverly. I consider Mann as a point guard as well. And then Palmer Jr., don't really know too much about him, as well as Jerome Robinson. These are 2 players that are picked up. I think they need more athleticism on this team. As I only see, remember, George is older, Kawhi is older. Only thing I see is crazy athleticism is Coulibaly and Harrell. They need somebody else to really, surefire. I don't want to say Gerald Green type, but that type of player. I don't know if Coffey can be that or Dante Graham can be that, but they need a little bit more athleticism here on this team. If they can find a big to add, that would be pretty much a good thing for them. Another 7-footer to back up Zubac. I'm just worried about how the wearing down for Harrell throughout the season of all the business was going to do his body. Yeah, his mind is right. He got his mind right, but hey, a big is a big, and weight is weight, and there's only so much you can do at 6'8", 240, even though his arm length is probably over 7 foot, hence why he's able to compete against the bigs. But we shall see. He had a 3-point shot. I think it's up to Coulibaly, Harrell, and Zubac to where this takes him as far as a rebound perspective. Shamet's going to have to be consistent, and Paul George and Kawhi right now are in a big two role. They're in the same position as the Mavericks. If any of these guys get injured, I see trouble ahead for them, barely making the playoffs and maybe getting ousted in the first round. Off Work Sports, summarizing where I see him. Let's come back. Let's go out to the stats and see where I got them headed. LA Clippers should end up in a 4 or 3 slot on the Western Conference. Reason being is people paying too much disrespect to Denver and Portland. I got them there, and I got the Lakers really pushing through. So, 4th or 3rd slot is where I see the Clippers. If they remain healthy, there probably needs to be another trade made. We shall see what happens in the season. Championship, a big if. I don't think Kawhi's faced anything like he has in the West on the East Coast with the Toronto Raptors, so it's a different ball game and a different challenge. But can't wait to see what will happen. The Big West is strong again, and maybe the toughest conference to play in. I'm signing off. Off work. Peace.